Okay, hello everyone. So, I guess none of you are expecting this. Now, were you? An upload literally the day before Tuesday, even though I said it would be on Tuesday? Yeah, I just decided why not. Don't worry, I'm still researching. But it's just taking time. So until then, until full uploads can actually come back, I'm still waiting for my camera to be fixed. I guess I'll just stick to doing a few normal videos, including, as I said before, the script edits. So until then, let's just take a look at, what's this? Another custom spotlight. Now, I'm going to plan to reboot the series yet again because it's been a long time, and I think it's about time I just start from scratch once again. So I think, well, now's a better time than anything else. So let's get on with it. Now, as I mentioned before on a few posts, it was supposed to be a custom model showcase on my Dream Custom, and yeah, that's exactly what you're going to get. So, here it is, my Dream Custom. You might have seen it on a few posts, but what the flip. Ivo Hugh. This guy, yeah. This guy was my absolute favorite to make. And I'm not kidding when I say that, because this guy was a very, very, very anticipated model to make. So how about I start from the beginning? We all know who Ivo Hugh is, right? The number 7 of the Skarloey Railway, based off of Tom Rolt from the Tallyland Railway. So, yeah. Ever since I saw this model, I knew I had to get myself a wooden railway model. Since the first time I actually saw it in wooden railway. Since the first time I ever saw it was in wooden railway. So, my mom did just that, as well as getting a Duncan and a Rusty and a few other narrow gauge engines to complete the bill. Nevertheless, I was still semi-satisfied. I was wondering if I could, well, see one in Trackmaster form. And since I was a custom maker, I could try myself. Unfortunately, the last model that I wanted to make into an Ivo Hugh ended up being a Tom Rolt, and yeah. So I had to wait years until the right time I could make him. And I mean years. Each time I just dissed it off for another custom because I couldn't make it yet. But when I finally got an Ivo, after years of waiting, got a Fearless Freddy from eBay for Christmas, the time finally came. And hence, it's the model you see right in front of you. So, let's just get on to how I built this guy, shall we? Sure. So the body was, as I said before, made from a Trackmaster Fearless Freddy. Heavily modified, too. And I think you can see. The only differences I did were just pretty easy. It's well extensive. Those included giving him a new dome. This part under the shaving to make room for, well, to get his bases right. So just the tanks. This part right here, which was made of cardboard. Well, part of Ivo's cab. This was added later on after I realized my mistake, so I started to fix that. And of course, the back piece right here. This piece was only added just because, since some people just decided to make him, well, without this part. It's the back of the part. It's the back of the cab. It's the back of the cab, that's it. One further touch I added was modifying the side rods. And I know what you're gonna say. You should have made him run. You should have made him run. You should have made him run. I wanted to, but then I realized that I could just at least try to use it to my advantage, and so I decided to just leave it at that. Modifying this part so I can get rid of an extra side rod that wasn't being used, because... And another reason why, I actually used Fearless Freddy's wheels from over here to make his bogey wheels. So, doesn't make him look too much accurate to the actual Tom Rolt or original Ivo Hugh, but it's a step up. So yeah, once after all that was done, I then painted the entire model in a bright red, which is pretty obvious. And the reason why I painted him in a bright red was because I really wasn't a fan of the purple. It really didn't give him his character, except for just anything else. For me, I think red is his original colors, because he was introduced he was introduced into the Railway series as a red shade. So I decided to go on with it, since I actually found the red pretty character-like. And it also does tie into the personality that I've given him. Reckless, yes. Innocent, yes. But also sometimes hot-headed if he doesn't know what he's doing. But still an innocent chap at heart. As you can see, I also didn't modify this part over here because it would take a little too long, and I guess because, well, you know, this would take a long time modifying, and I really didn't have time for it. Look, I didn't really want to start from scratch in case I broke something on it, so I left it at that. But after the painting session was done, I then decided to go with the decals and details, including the lining, which was a very big pain in the butt. Windows, which were, of course, squares. And I even painted the top of the dome. That's cool. Now, I took a lot of reference from Google and images from other people, including one I didn't really follow, though, was one created by somebody else who was making him. But that model was made from a Duncan, and I really didn't see the Duncan. But he made that guy. He made his look a lot better as a Duncan. I'm sticking to what I got, since this was what was being addressed all around, so with the flip. The number 7 was originally traced from a Trackmaster Rheneas, and the nameplate was just done by myself. And now on to the face. Here's an interesting story about the face. When I first wanted to make Ivo Hugh, this was back when I was lifted back into making Ivo Hugh, and I was still looking forward to the day when I would make him. But I didn't know what I would make him out of. But you get the idea. Nevertheless, I was still eager to make this guy. So, years before, this took place years before I actually made the guy, so. So, I had a spare Charlie face lying around, so I modified it, painted it. I modified it using Milliput, and painted it to look just how I wanted it to look like. I even got a little bit of inspiration from the original Ivo Hugh wooden railway face. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention the tanks, a dome, and a bit of the back piece of the cab is made of Milliput, as well as the lamp. So you can think, yeah, this is pretty much a bit of an old standard custom, but I think I mastered it. And hey, the face I made from a few years back actually gives him a lot more character than you think. So I expect him to be appearing in a few Thomas the Tank Engine stories, a remake of his debut, as well as a few appearances for the teaser trailer coming up probably in mid-February. The teaser for, of course, Season 2. So, I guess that's all I have to say. So, thank you all for watching, and please sure to like, subscribe, and in the comments, and yeah, I'm coming back. It's a slow start, but it's still happening. See you all very soon. And hey, be on the lookout for this guy because he is gonna make it soon. Trust me. Toodle pip.